Good day, students, and welcome to biology class, past question and solution. Now we start with another year, 2019, question 1. So which of the following structures will not be found in the nucleus of a cell? So let's look at the options one after the other. DNA. The DNA is always found in the cell. How? The DNA is found on the chromosome. The chromosome is a thread-like material that is found in the nucleus. Okay, so while look at it here, if I bring this structure out here, it becomes the DNA. That's the strands of DNA. The strand of DNA. So a segment of the DNA, let's say this is a segment of the DNA. Let me make it dark a little. When we bring it out, it forms the gene. It forms the gene. The gene is the discrete unit of inheritance. The gene is this discrete unit of inheritance. So the chromosome is found inside the nucleus, while the DNA is found on the chromosome that is found inside the nucleus. So let's look at nucleus. The nucleus is also found inside the nucleus. So let's actually draw the nucleus. So we have the chromosome in which we have just analyzed now. On it we have the DNA, then we have the nucleus. The nucleus helps to produce the ribosome. The nucleus produces the ribosome, while the ribosome produces protein. So I tell my student that to say nucleus produces ribosome produces protein. Okay? Now let's look at, and what's the function of ribosome? It produces protein. So let's look at the lysosome. Lysosome is a suicide bag that is found outside the nucleus. Okay, it helps to destroy the worn-out organelles and also protect the cell from invading microorganisms. So then we have the centriole. The centriole is a little bit close or very close to the nucleus. So the answer here is the lysosome. Lysosome is very far away from the nucleus. So we have the lysosome as our answer. Now, an example of organ level of organization is a bird. The bird is not an organ. The bird is a typical complete organism, which is formed from a cell, from cell to tissue, from tissue to organ, from organ to system, from system to a complete bird. So it's not an organ. So the next option here is kidney. The kidney is an organ. So the kidney is an organ. Let's mention other organs. Yes, we have the liver. It's also an organ. The liver is also an organ. Now let's go to the next. So the answer here is the C. However, let's analyze the spermatozoon. The spermatozoon is a cell, and it's not an ordinary cell. It's a sex cell. So we say the sex cell, the cell that is involved in fertilization and eventual reproduction. So the sex cell are always called the gametes. They are always called the what? The gametes. You have the male gamete that is called the spermatozoon, while the female gamete is called the ovum or the egg. Now the xylem, we have the xylem cells forming the xylem tissue. So the xylem can exist as cells and can also exist as tissue. And don't forget the function of xylem. It helps to transport water from this root of the soil of the plant into the shoot of the plant and then to the leaf of the plant for photosynthesis. Let's go to number 3. A structural similarity between paramecium, let's underline paramecium here, and amoeba is the presence of dash. So let's have a table here. We have amoeba, then we have a paramecium. So let's look at our options. Paramecium. Don't forget amoeba is an irregular shaped organism, is unicellular, and also paramecium is a slipper shape. Let's start with that. Irregular in shape, and this paramecium is a slipper shaped cell. Now let's look at the similarities here. Number 1 foot vacuole. Let's leave that for now. 2 contractile vacuole. The answer is no. Okay, yes, paramecium has 2 contractile vacuoles. That is true. And also there are some other cellular organisms that also have the 2 contractile vacuole, like chlamydomonas. Like what? Chlamydomonas also has 2 contractile vacuole. However, Mr. Amoeba has 1 contractile vacuole. So the answer cannot be B. Then 2 nuclei. Yes, Mr. Paramecium has 2 nuclei, a bigger one and a smaller one. The bigger one is meant to control the activity of the paramecium, while the smaller one is meant for reproduction. So, but amoeba does not have 2 nuclei. Then 1 gullet. Amoeba does not have gullet. Why Mr. Paramecium has 1 gullet? So the answer is 1 food vacuole here. The answer is what? 1 food vacuole. Now let's look at the last question here. We have the classes of plants, the root system in the diagrams 1 and 2 below represent respectively a dash and dash, a dicot and monocot. So our answers are always between the monocots and the dicots. So let's look at the roots now. We can differentiate monocots and dicots in terms of their root system. So we said we have 2 types of roots. As we know, we have the fibrous root and we have the taproot. So which one is fibrous, which one is taproot? You say we have a taproot when the root is elongated and grows vertically down the soil with lateral extension. This grows vertically down the soil with lateral extension, and this is the taproot. But the fibrous roots have an equal elongation or almost equal elongation under the soil, and the fibrous root does not have an elongated root that goes deep down the soil. So this is the fibrous root. So which of the classes of plants bears the taproot and the fibrous root? The monocot has the fibrous root, while the dicot has the taproot. So let's get the answer here. 1 here, Roman figure 1 is dicot, while Roman figure 2 is monocot. So the answer here is A. Thank you so much. Meet in the next class. Goodbye.